Okay, so today we are going to start with periodic classification of elements. In this periodic classification of elements, we have our topic ionization energy. Okay, just a second. Yes, okay. So basically, if we discuss about the definition of ionization energy, if you see this part, okay, I will move to there. Yeah. Definition of ionization energy. Just give me a second. There's some problem with pen tab. Yeah, it's working now. Okay. Now see. Suppose if you see this is an electron, these are the electrons, and this is an atom. So there's some proton are present and neutron are also present there, and this is known as nucleus. Okay. So this is first shell, second, third, and this one is the fourth shell. Now suppose in the fourth shell there is one electron there. Okay. So I want to remove this electron out from the shell. So for this thing, I need to put some energy over there.
Yeah.
Okay. And this electron is in force of attraction with nucleus because protons are positively charged and this electron is negatively charged. So they have a force of attraction. Okay. So in order to remove that electron, I need to put a minimum amount of energy so that it can just move away. Clear? Okay. Yep. So that minimum amount of energy, which is required to remove the electron from the outermost shell, is known as ionization energy. Got it? Clear?
Yeah, got it.
Okay. Now this outermost shell is also known as valence shell, and this electron is known as valence electron. So in other terms, what we can say, ionization energy is the minimum amount of energy that is required to remove valence electron from an atom. Got it?
Yeah.
Same thing are there. Instead of using the outermost word, I am using valence thing. Okay?
Yeah.
That is what the layman part. Now, technically, what we have to write in exam, but what actually it is. Okay, now see. Now it is the amount of energy required to remove the most loosely bound electron from the outermost orbit of 1 mole of isolated gaseous atom. Now suppose this is nucleus, this is first shell, second shell, and third shell. Okay. Now, yeah, 2 electrons. So there are 8 electrons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 electrons, and this one is the 1 more electron. Okay. Now the minimum energy should be given to that electron. Now that electron, as per the definition, must be loosely bound electron. Loosely bound electron, that it will only have force of attraction from the nucleus, not from any other part. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then isolated, what do you mean by this thing? Isolated gaseous atom. Now if I say solid and then I say liquid and then gas, so gas particles, or you can say gas atom, will have least amount of force of attraction between them.
Yeah.
So that's why if it is in gas, if this particular element is in gaseous phase, then it will have the minimum amount of force of attraction with the nucleus.
Yeah.
For that thing, we require a minimum amount of energy to remove that electron. So that's why in definition, we consider that particular atom is in gaseous state.
Yeah.
Okay.
Understand.
Fine.
Yeah.
Got it? So in definition, what we have to improve it is the minimum amount of energy that is required to remove most loosely bound electron from the outermost orbit of an isolated gaseous atom. That minimum energy is known as ionization energy, and this ionization energy is endergonic, or you can say energy absorbing process. Why it is energy absorbing process? Because we are giving this energy. It has been absorbed by the atom. Okay.
Yeah.
Clear? Any doubt?
Yeah. Now I understand.
Okay, that's great. Okay, now second point what they are saying. Now, the energy required to remove one electron from neutral gaseous atom, the same thing, neutral one or the isolated gaseous atom, to convert into monopositive cation is known as first ionization energy, or in short, we can write first IP, ionization potential. Okay, now
Yeah.
ionization energy and ionization potential, or sometimes we say it as a ionization enthalpy. All these first, second, and this one third. All three are same thing. It means the same part. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Now again, I'm taking this as a proton, first shell, second shell, and this one is the third shell. It can be any number of shells, but I'm taking 3 only. So 2 electrons. So there are 8 electrons. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this one 8. And now this one is the 2 electrons are there first, for example. Okay. Now I supply some energy to that atom and this electron is removed. Clear? So now first electron is removed. Now the energy which I supplied is known as first ionization energy. Okay. Now this has been removed. Now when suppose this is a metal M, clear? Now this metal M loses one. Okay. Now suppose this is 1, 2. This is 2 electron, 8 electron, and there are 2 electrons. So 2, 8, 2, it's 12. It means it is magnesium.
Yeah.
Suppose this is magnesium. That atomic number is 12. So there are 12 electrons. Now this magnesium suppose loses 1 electron. So magnesium lose 1 electron. Lose means negative 1 electron. So what it will be converted into? Mg plus 1. Got it?
Yeah.
And you know that we can't write as a negative part. So this will move this side, and eventually we have to write this like this. Mg positive plus electron. Because in this case, magnesium is converted into magnesium cation, that is Mg positive, and we get 1 electron. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And in this case, we have to give some ionization energy. Okay, got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I want to remove this electron also. So for that, I need to do what? I need to again supply energy. Clear?
Yeah. Yeah.
So in this case, what I am doing now, I am Mg plus. Mg plus is converting into Mg plus 2 plus electron. Okay.
Yeah.
Now whatever the energy I supplied to remove second electron from outermost shell is known as second ionization energy. Got it?
Yeah.
If there are 3 electrons, then it means third ionization energy. If 4 electrons, fourth ionization energy. Okay?
Yeah.
Got it?
But it has to be from the outermost shell.
Yes. It has to be from the outermost shell. Now, suppose in this case, now this shell has been removed completely after 2 electrons. There is no this shell. This second shell will become the outermost shell.
Yeah.
So now we have to remove electron from this one. Got it?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So these kind of energies, that is first ionization energy, second ionization energy, then third ionization energy, then fourth ionization energy, they are known as successive ionization energy. What we call them? Successive ionization energy. Okay.
Yeah.
So by giving first ionization energy, we convert any element into a monopositive cation, and by converting or by giving second ionization energy, we convert any atom into divalent or dipositive, or you can say divalent cation. Got it?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. The divalent thing part, you know, not what is divalent, what is monovalent.
No, I haven't like
Okay,
heard
fine.
of this name.
Yeah, that is what I am saying. If you find any new term, you can ask. Feel
Okay.
free to ask anything. Okay, just give me just tell me one thing. Okay, whenever you go to a doctor, how you talk to particular doctor, how you talk to him or her, whatever you are feeling, you always tell them that, sir
Yeah.
or ma'am, I am feeling this and this. And you used to tell your ma'am, I ate this thing in morning and I feel that thing, I feel a little bit headache is there, some sort of uneasiness. You tell each and everything in detail to doctor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And then only he or she will give you medicine.
Yeah.
In the same way, bache, I am also not a doctor, I am a teacher. If you are not getting anything, if you are not aware of any word that I am speaking, that you have to ask now, how can I know that? How could I know that you understand monovalent part or not?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Okay.
whatever thing you are not aware of, don't hesitate in asking any question. Okay. That
Okay.
is what the first part. Okay.
Okay.
Never hesitate. If you are hesitating, it is going to be your fault. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, teacher. Okay, fine. So that part is clear. Valent thing I am saying. Valent means valencies. It related to valency. Monovalent
Okay.
means valency. In this case, the valency is +1 na valency. This
Yeah.
+1 is known as the valency na. This is monovalent, and this valency is +2 divalent.
Okay.
Okay, monopositive cation, dipositive cation, or divalent. Valent means valency. This valency can be negative or it can be positive also. If I say monovalent cation, it means that cation is having cation means positive +1. If I
Yeah.
say monovalent anion, it means -1. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
cation and anion, I hope you know it.
Yeah. I know. I know.
Yeah. Okay, then that's great. Good. So up to this one, any doubt?
Now I understand.
Okay, very good. So now what we have, first ionization enthalpy or ionization energy or ionization potential, all are same thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now if you see, this is Mg positive is converting itself into Mg +2 plus 1 electron. Okay. Again, I'm making it. This is 2 electron. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 electron. Okay. Now, in this case, the force of attraction is this one. Suppose this is the force of attraction. Fine.
Yeah.
In this case, proton are 12 protons and electron are 12
12.
kg. So now I gave energy to this electron and removed it, and it is converted into Mg +2. Sorry,
Yeah.
+1. Mg +1. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
when it lose that particular electron, now it will have 11 electron
11.
now. And
Yeah.
proton will remain same.
Yeah.
Proton is positive. 12 protons are there. Now I need to remove this electron. Now tell me one thing. Suppose if whatever the energy I gave to remove that first electron, the second electron, to remove that second electron, I need again some more energy.
Yeah.
So that energy will be more than first one or lesser than second. That second energy, whatever the second energy I need to remove this electron, it will be more or less than the first one.
Will it be the same?
Why same?
Oh.
Think logically, a little bit. Yeah, I will discuss. Just tell me. If you are saying same, okay, fine.
Is it in the same like shell?
Isn't the
That's
same shell?
why.
Okay, that's great. Okay, fine.
So it's the same.
No,
I don't
no.
know if it's the same distance.
Like it's the same. It's in the same shell. As per the distance part,
Yeah.
it is same. But
Yeah.
okay, okay, fine. Now suppose tell me one thing. If suppose you are alone at your home and you are doing some work. Okay.
Yeah.
So suppose homework part. So you will not do your homework fully. First of all, if no one is there, your mom and dad is not, no one is there, and they told you to do some work. They give you 12 sheets to do. Okay.
Yeah.
So what you will do? You will do one sheet and then play here and there, move here and there, then do another sheet
Yeah.
and then talk to some of your friends, some other thing. Then you will do all the sheets one by one, but take more time. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now suppose your mom is there. So if you are doing something, she will tell, oh, go and do some work.
Yeah.
Yes or no? You will not be able
Yeah.
to play that much.
Yeah.
And suppose if your mom and dad both are there at home, so what will happen? You will finish up this whole thing first and then will move. You are not allowed to move. Yes or no?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Now in the same thing, see, this proton are 12 in number. Whatever the force of attraction is there on the outermost electron is because of that number of proton.
Yeah.
Okay. Earlier, 12 proton and 12 electron. It's a even thing. Fine. 12 is
Yeah.
to 12 ratio is there. Means 12 proton are attracting 12 electrons. But in second case, after losing first electron, the number of proton is same, that is 12.
Yeah.
But electron number is decreased.
Yeah. It's decreased.
Okay. So it means the force of attraction on that electron will increase or decrease. Now 12 proton are putting force of attraction on 11 electrons. Earlier it was 1:1 ratio. Now it is little bit more.
Yeah.
The force of attraction on that electron is more. Okay.
Yeah.
Now if force of attraction is more, now if I say this blue line, this is the blue line is the force of attraction is more. So I need to give more energy to remove that electron.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
first ionization energy is less than the second one, or you can say second ionization energy is more. Second ionization energy is more. Okay. Then suppose if there is a third more electron, then I need to again give more energy.
Yeah. So that would be even more.
That will be even more third energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Clear?
Yeah.
Got it?
Yeah.
So chemistry is very easy. It's just the way you are looking over it. So whatever you observe in your day-to-day life, just try to apply there. So it will be easy
Okay.
for you. I think now you will never forget this part.
Yeah.
Got it? Any doubt?
Yeah. I understand. Yeah.
Okay, then fine, very good. Okay, so that is what we have. The first ionization energy or ionization potential is less than the second one, less than the third one, or you can say third one is having the maximum energy because as the electron go out of the atom, the ionic size goes on decreasing and the amount of positive charge goes on increasing. Now, as the amount of positive charge increases, force of attraction, the amount of positive charge, you can say that positive charge is directly proportional to force of attraction on electron. Fine, clear?
Yeah. Yeah.
The positive charge is directly proportional to force of attraction on electron, which is directly proportional to ionization energy. More the
Yeah.
force of attraction, more amount of energy I need to remove it. More amount of energy I require to remove that particular electron. Clear?
Yeah.
Any doubt in this?
No.
Okay. Now, this is what the example. I have taken the example of aluminium. You can clearly see this is aluminium. Atomic number of aluminium is 13.
13.
Okay. Okay. Now, aluminium I have converted into gas part. Okay. I boil the aluminium and it is converted into gas. Now, first ionization, that is delta Hi. Delta Hi means ionization enthalpy. I'm writing there ionization. Enthalpy means heat. I think you have studied thermodynamics. You have studied thermodynamics or not?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Yeah, you have studied thermodynamics or not?
No, I haven't.
No. Okay, fine. Yeah. Enthalpy means heat only, energy. Okay.
Okay.
In thermodynamics, we will study more about this enthalpy. So this delta Hi is the representation of ionization enthalpy. Okay. So
Okay.
aluminium in gaseous form, this G means it is in gaseous form. We provide some energy. It is converted into Al plus 1 plus an electron is moved out. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Ji. Then again, in that case, I give some more energy. So this this delta Hi is the first ionization energy. This is first ionization energy. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Ji. Now in this case, if I put more delta Hi, then it will be converted into Al plus 2.
Yeah.
Okay. And then again, if I add some more energy, it will be converted into Al plus 3. Here.
Yeah.
Now, as the electrons are removed from aluminium, number of proton remain unchanged. Number of proton remains unchanged, which increases the Z effective. Z effective means effective nuclear charge. That is the force of attraction. And hence, ionization energy increases. So that's why third ionization energy is maximum, then second, and then the least one is the first one. Clear?
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope that point is now clear.
Yeah.
Okay, now coming to your book, what it is saying. Yeah. Okay, so just we will read out that whatever there is there in the book. Okay, now ionization energy measures how easily an atom loses electron to form positive ion. Now, with ionization energy, we always get a positive ion element, positive ion substance or entity, we can say. The first ionization energy is the energy required to remove one electron from each atom in one mole of gaseous atom. Now, it is very impossible, or it is impossible to take one element and to remove one electron, because it is very, very difficult. Fine.
Yeah.
So what we took one mole, that is collection of Avogadro number of atoms. Okay. And we put some energy over it, and then it has been removed. So whatever the energy is required to remove the electrons from the one mole of gaseous atom is known as the first ionization energy. And for sodium, this first ionization energy is positive 496 kilojoule per mole. That is not for one single atom, that is for one mole. Okay. If you divide this number by Avogadro number, you will get the energy required for removal of one electron from one atom.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So that first paragraph is clear.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we will study about factors affecting ionization energy. Now electrons are held in their shell by the attraction of nuclear forces, or you can say by the attraction from the nucleus. We have studied this thing. So nucleus, what nucleus does? Nucleus binds electron near to it, or whatever the electrons in an atom are there, it binds them. It provides some force of attraction and binds to them in the shell. Okay. Now, the first electron will be lost in the highest energy level, will experience least attraction from the nucleus. Now, if electron is there, whatever the first electron will be removed, it will have the least attraction from the nucleus. Clear?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Now, basically, there are three factors affect the attraction between the nucleus and the outermost electron of an atom. Therefore, the ionization energy. What does it mean? It means that whatever the electron is there, if the force of attraction with the nucleus of electron changes, it means its ionization energy automatically changes. Clear?
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
more the force of attraction on the nucleus, more amount of ionization energy we require.
Yeah.
That is what we have studied. Now,
Yeah.
whatever the factors which are going to affect the force of attraction of large electron will also affect the ionization energy.
Yeah.
Yes or no? Is that clear?
Yeah. Yeah.
That relationship is clear?
Yeah. It's clear.
Okay, ji. So those factors are atomic radius, nuclear charge, and electron shielding. Fine. Now,
Yeah.
three things we have to study: atomic radius, nuclear charge, and electron shielding. So first of all, we will study about nuclear charge. Now, more the number of protons there are in the nucleus of an atom, the greater the attraction between the nucleus and the electron. Now, more the number of protons means if the number of protons are more, then the force of attraction between the nucleus and the outermost shell is more. Clear?
Yeah.
For example, if your both mom and dad are sitting in front of you, so you can't move here and there. You have to complete whatever the work you have in one shot
Yeah.
because force of attraction is more. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
If number of proton is less, for example, your mom is there, it means you can give some excuse to your mom and you can move here and there. If your
Yeah.
mom is even not there, you are free because you have no force of attraction.
Yeah.
Okay, it means whenever the force of attraction is more, or in that sense only what we can say, if your both mom and dad are there, to move you need a very good excuse so that they can believe you and you can move. But in the same way, if the number of protons are more, we require a huge amount of energy to remove outermost electron.
Yeah.
Got it? So
Yeah.
that is what the nuclear charge is directly proportional to number of protons. Okay.
Yeah.
So if number of proton increases, ionization
The more
energy
energy.
also increases. Clear?
Yeah. Yeah.
So nuclear charge is directly proportional to ionization energy. Okay, ji? Got it?
Yeah.
Any doubt? Okay.
No.
Now atomic radius. So you know what is atomic radius? Yes or no?
No.
No? Okay.
Is it just the radius of the atom?
Atom. Yeah, it is just the radius of the atom, or you can say it is the distance between the center of nucleus to the outermost shell. Wait, I will give you a little bit of things on this one. Just I will show you this. Okay, nuclear charge. First of all, we have discussed nuclear charge. Huh? So nuclear
Yeah.
charge, it corresponds to the force of attraction which nucleus applies on the valence electron. Valence electron means electron in outermost shell. Okay. Now
Yeah.
it increases in period as well as in group. Now top to bottom and from left to right, it always increases. Nuclear charge will always increase from top to bottom and from left to right. You know that thing?
Yeah.
So top to bottom means in a group, and
So
from
as
left
you
to right
go
means in
down
a
the
period.
group,
Yeah,
so
yes,
as you
yes,
go, it
yes, yes.
increases. If you go
Yeah.
across period.
down the group and across the period.
Yeah.
Generally, I used to say like it is from top to bottom and left to right. Okay, the same thing. The same thing. What you
Yeah.
are telling and what I am telling is the same part. Okay.
Yeah.
So in both cases, it increases. Okay, got it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfectly fine. And this nuclear charge is directly proportional to ionization energy. Fine. First point done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we will discuss the second point. Now this nuclear charge is also going to affect atomic radius also. How? I will tell. Wait, where is this? Atomic radius. It is the distance between the outermost shell of an atom to the center of its nucleus. And there are different types of atomic radius. No need to discuss. Okay, fine. Now suppose this is your nucleus, first shell, second shell, and this is the third shell. Like there are 2 electrons there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 electrons, and there are suppose 2 electrons out there. Okay.
Yeah.
Now from this center to the outermost shell, this distance is known as
Atomic
atomic.
radius.
Yes, atomic radius. And in some books you will find it named as a atomic size. Both are same. My handwriting is clear now. You can understand.
Yeah, I can understand.
Then it's good. Okay, clear?
Yeah.
Okay, now this atomic radius depends upon force of attraction.
Yeah.
If this distance, if the force of attraction is more, it can be pulled easily.
Can
Yes
you
or no?
repeat? Can you repeat?
Yeah, I will repeat. Yeah, if this force of attraction is high, it can be easily pulled. It will be difficult to move.
Yeah.
This shell will become a little bit closed.
Yeah.
Now, suppose if you are pulling something, if you apply more force to pull something, it will be easy to, this particular thing will come close to you.
Yeah.
Fine. It means if the force of attraction is more, then the things are close
Yeah.
to us. Close
Yeah.
means this radius is short. This radius will become small. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So always remember, atomic radius is inversely proportional to force of attraction. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Clear? If
Yeah.
force of attraction is high, then atomic radius will be low. If force of attraction is low, then atomic radius will be more.
Yeah.
Clear?
Yeah.
Now, okay. And now atomic radius is inversely proportional to force of attraction. Okay, I'm writing it in a short form. First point that we have studied. And second point, what we have already studied is force of attraction is directly proportional to ionization energy.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, can you tell me what is the relationship between atomic radius and ionization energy? What will be the relationship between them? Whether they are direct? Yes.
As the atomic radius increases,
Mhm.
does like the force of attraction, does it like decrease?
Yes, as the atomic radius increase, force of attraction will decrease.
Yeah.
Because
And
if suppose this is a fourth shell, the electron
yeah.
is there. So the force of attraction between this electron and this one is little bit less. Now
Yeah.
suppose you are sitting there, you are sitting on a table and chair. Fine. If something is there in front of your couch, so this couch is a little bit far, so it will be difficult for you to grab. The force of attraction between that particular thing and you is less.
Yeah.
And suppose you are sitting, your mouse is always near to laptop.
Yeah.
So the force of attraction toward mouse is very high.
Yeah.
Distance between you and mouse is low.
Yeah.
Is less or
Yeah.
low. Okay. So atomic radius is inversely proportional to force of attraction. It means that as the force of attraction increases, atomic radius will decrease. Clear that part?
Okay. Yeah.
And as the atomic radius increases, so there will be less force of attraction. It simply means that if something is far, then the force of attraction is less. For example, suppose, okay, most of your relatives are in Delhi.
Yeah.
Okay, whenever you go to Delhi, or if your grandfather or grandmother or any of your maternal or paternal someone is there, so there is some neighbor in Delhi. Wherever you live, there are some neighbors in Delhi also.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is the force of attraction between you and your neighbor in Delhi is more or less? Do you
Force of
talk?
it.
Force of attraction means the way you talk. Do you talk to them regularly?
Yeah.
Means daily.
In Delhi. No.
In Delhi, do you talk
Yeah.
to your neighbors daily, on daily
No.
basis? No.
No.
You will talk to them once in 15 days, maybe in 20 days, maybe once a month. Huh? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what about the neighbors in London, in your place?
I would talk to them more.
You talk to them more now?
Yeah.
Because the distance between where you are living and your neighbor at your place is less.
Yeah.
So the interaction point is more.
Yeah.
But the distance with the neighbor, which is in Delhi, is less, is more. The distance between you and your neighbor in Delhi is more. So there will be less interaction.
Yeah.
Okay. So less interaction
Yeah.
means less force of attraction.
Yeah.
Got it? The same
Yeah.
with the atomic radius. If the atomic radius is more, the distance is more, then there will be a less force of attraction. And
Yeah.
if distance is less, then the force of attraction will be more.
Yeah.
Clear? Got
Yeah.
it? Same thing is there in the case of electron and nucleus. Okay.
Yeah.
So first point is clear.
Yeah. It's good.
Okay, Ji. Now this second point that we have already covered, that the force of attraction is directly proportional to ionization energy.
Yeah.
Okay. How? If, for example, in this electron, if there is more force of attraction, I need to give more amount of energy to remove that electron.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Clear? So it means more the force of attraction, more amount of ionization energy.
Yeah.
Fine. Now you know the relationship between force of attraction and atomic radius. And second relationship, what we have studied is the force of attraction and the ionization enthalpy. Okay.
Yeah.
Now tell me what will be relation between atomic radius and ionization enthalpy, whether they are directly proportional or inversely proportional.
They are inversely proportional.
They are inversely proportional. Na? It means
Yeah.
if atomic radius is small, it is difficult to take out the electron.
Yeah.
For example, okay, now tell me one thing. You have younger brother or sister?
Yeah.
Okay. Now if brother or sister?
Sister.
Sister. Okay, fine. If she wants to take your mouse from your nearby laptop, will it be difficult for her or easy for her? Difficult, huh? She can't take
Yeah.
and run away from whatever the things which is near to you. She can't
Yeah.
run. Na? Huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why she can't run?
Because it's near to me, so I can
Yes, because
say more.
yeah, yes, because these things are near to you. You have more
Yeah.
force of attraction on those things. Clear?
Yeah.
Same thing is this one. Distance is inversely proportional to, so atomic radius, very good, Anya, is inversely proportional to ionization enthalpy.
Yeah.
Got it?
Yeah.
It means more the radius, lesser the ionization energy. And vice versa. If radius is very, very small, then we require more amount of ionization energy to remove that electron.
Yeah.
Got it?
Yeah.
Any
Understood.
doubt?
I understand.
Very good. Now the third point is electron shielding. Okay, so is this sufficient for today, or you want to learn that third point also?
How long will it take for
It will hardly take more 5 to 6, maximum 10 minutes.
Yeah, then that's okay. Can I learn the
You can sit and study now. Okay, fine then. That's good. Okay, so Manya, tell me one thing. Are you a Marvel fan or not?
It's going to sound weird, but I've never watched Marvel.
Marvel movies? Yeah, this one, Captain America and all these movies you watch?
No, I've never watched it. I want to watch it, but I don't know how and where. So
Okay, okay, you are not great fan of Marvel movies.
yeah,
Okay, fine. So I think you know about this Captain America, na? It is having some sort of shield with him.
yeah,
You know it,
yeah,
na?
yeah.
So what is the
Yeah.
purpose? What is the purpose of that shield? Can you tell me?
It's to protect like
It,
himself.
yeah, it protects that particular this one, the one who is having shield. It protects
Yeah.
it protects captain from the outside force.
Yeah.
Fine. If someone is hitting over him, okay. Now, if someone is hitting you, what you will do? You will just put your hand above what from where it is hitting.
Yeah.
Okay. So by putting your hand, what you are doing? You are shielding yourself. Clear?
It's like creating a barrier.
Yes, 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 yes. You are creating a barrier. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, electrons are negatively charged and inner shell electron repel outer shell electron. Fine. This repulsion called shielding effect. Now see. Wait. Just give me a second. Yes. Now see this shielding curve. Shielding effect or screening effect. Same thing. Okay.
Okay.
Shielding effect and screening effect is the same thing.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay. Now see this one. This is nucleus. See this figure. This is nucleus. One,
Yeah.
2, 3 electrons are there. This is suppose first shell, 2 electrons, and second shell. There are so many electrons are there. Fine.
Yeah.
And this is the outermost shell.
Yeah.
Okay. Now in this case, this shell is having this electron, this first, second, and third electron, and this one is the outermost 2 electrons. Now,
Yeah.
if you see these outermost 2 electrons, they have this blue color force of attraction with nucleus.
Yeah.
But this is negatively charged, this is electronegative charge, this is negative charge, negative charge, what they will do? They will repel each other.
Yeah.
So there is repulsion, this is repulsion, repulsion is there.
Yeah.
Okay. So because of some repulsion between the outermost shell and the inner shells, so there is a repulsion between the outermost shell and the inner shell.
That's the shielding effect.
Yep. Because of this thing, that whole thing is known as a shielding effect, which decreases the force of attraction.
Yeah.
And this decreases the force of attraction. Okay. And as the
Yeah.
force of attraction decreases, it is easy to remove this electron.
Yeah.
Clear?
Yeah.
Okay, now I will tell you one story for this, just to make you a little bit more better. Suppose you did some mischievous activity and your father is angry on you and he is scolding you. Fine. Suddenly
Yeah.
your mom came and say, yeah, I told her to do this thing. Why you are scolding her? Why you are scolding Manya? What she did? What she did? She protects you. She shield you.
Yeah.
It means the force of attraction between you and your father decreases.
Yeah.
Okay. So it means you are now free to believe.
Yeah.
Ultimately, your mom and dad will fight with each other. You will just simply move from this particular picture.
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yeah.
I hope this is a known activity in your house. In every house, it is the
Yeah.
same
It's
thing.
true. Yeah.
Okay. So that is what the
Yeah.
shielding effect. Now you moved from this side easily. Now came to the electron part. Now consider this as an atom. Now this electron will be removed easily. It means as the shielding effect is there, the ionization energy decreases. Okay.
Yeah.
So it means shielding effect is inversely proportional to ionization energy. More
Yeah.
amount of shielding effect, lesser the ionization energy is required. Clear?
Yeah.
Got it? Any doubt?
Understand.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that is all what we have for this topic. Okay, wait. Yeah, that is up to this thing we have discussed. Shielding
Yeah.
effect we have discussed. So electrons are negatively charged, and so the inner shell electron repel outer shell electron, and this repulsion called the shielding effect reduces the attraction between the nucleus and the outermost electron. And the successive ionization energy we have also discussed.
Yeah.
Fine. So we
Yeah.
discussed up to around this point.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it? Clear?
Clear.
Any doubt? Anything you want me to repeat?